Sports Culture Lab. How can I help you? Sports Culture Lab is closed today.
Yes, we're going to change the topic today. What are you talking about?
What should we talk about?
Korean War?
I don't want to talk about the Korean War. That's depressing too. That's depressing
Yeah, but that's
too.
still better than today's topic, though.
You know what's funny? He goes, I'm just going to watch baseball, and then LG's losing 5-0. It's not a good day for sports. It's not a good day for sports.
No, like this morning I woke up, right? And then I was watching the ball game. And after that, okay, first 8 minutes was exciting. First 8 minutes.
You know what I heard?
What?
But it's funny with the first 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Korea actually did something historic, apparently. 96 successful passes in the first 10 minutes or something like that.
First 10 minutes was exciting because we were doing well.
But it's a game of
rest,
90 minutes.
Rest 82 minutes were, yeah.
But before we get there, I'm going to
Yes.
try to drag this out as much as possible, by the
No,
way.
you should have taken a whole entire second half of this show, and then we should have, we could just talk about the messages.
Messages?
Yeah.
We got messages, people talking about football right now. Halsey says, talk about Ochoa. He lived the night of his life. The crazy thing about Guillermo Ochoa is he goes missing for 4 years, comes back every 4 years just for the World Cup. He's the goalkeeper for Mexico.
Okay.
He's like 40 years old. The guy must be 40 years old. He's been coming
Probably.
out only during the World Cup. Great. He's a good keeper. But anyways, they're only talking about football. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Well,
it's a sports
let's start off with the second match, right? I mean, we got to talk about the... But even then... Korea lost, but it was
a good game.
It was a good game.
It was a pretty good game. And honestly, so, Mexico, of course, edged out South Korea 1-0 because of Luis Romo's goal in 50th minute in the second half. In the first half, it was tightly contested match. The both teams frequently caught offside and committing fouls. It was a pretty tight game, and Mexico broke the deadlock early in the second half of the game. It was sort of an accident because goalkeeper Kim Seung-ju tried to catch the ball, which was high up in the air, and then they missed just a high ball after colliding with the defender Lee Ki-hyuk, and they lost the ball, right? And then this Mexico's midfielder Luis Romo just came in, and he got the loose ball and he shot the ball, and that was a match-winning goal. And we tried to respond by bringing key players in. Of course, Son Heung-min were playing hard. Lee Jae-sung. Later, we brought in Cho Kyu-sung, and we tried to make chances. But then Mexican goalkeeper, Raul Rangel, had super saves. And despite relentless pressure from Korea, Mexico held firm. And, they secured a victory.
See, the thing is, and we'll talk about today's match in just a bit, but Korea's match had a lot of offsides.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, offsides is no good, but it also does mean that Korea was very aggressive.
Right.
Right? They were attacking, and just
And
timing
try
was...
to get the opportunity, right behind their defense line.
But it's just, they were aggressive, but they timed it wrong, so that's when the offside comes in. Right. And that's fine. And it was a 1-0 loss, but it was fine. It was a mistake. But, stuff like that happens in a match.
I mean, if we didn't have that mistake, they could have, we could have a draw, and then, that probably gave us the higher chance of going to the second round without waiting for other matches.
What I don't understand, though, is, I mean, I'm not going to go too much. I'm not the coach of Korea. I'm not a football expert. I like watching football, but I'm not an expert.
Every Korean national is a football expert.
They say they're an expert.
Yeah.
I'll honestly say it. I'm not an expert, right? However, I'll say this. Cho Kyu-sung, he looked really good. However, he's only put in at the last minute.
And then we didn't really put the balls inside the penalty area. Obviously, he was taller than anyone else. He was stronger.
That was the thing, because, not making any jokes, but the Mexican squad, they're a smaller player.
They're very smaller.
And so the only way to actually beat them was to beat them in the aerial game.
Right. So towards the end of the game, think about it, having Kim Min-jae and Cho Kyu-suk, those two towers inside a penalty area, then who can stop them? In only punching by a goalkeeper would compete with their height.
But when you have people like Lee Gang-in with great crosses,
exactly,
Son Heung-min, great passer.
Well, Son Heung-min signed out, but
he had left early again, right? That was the other controversy: is why are they leaving him out? And of course, there's another controversy that happened today, but. The Mexico match, again, especially important because a win would have put Korea in a very strong position to reach the round of 32. But for you though, watching, I mean, like, what was the biggest disappointment in this match?
Everything you said, but then towards the, we had a good possession, right? It was a pretty tight game. I would say if we didn't make a mistake in front of the penalty area, our penalty area, then we would have maybe had a draw. But that one single mistake can be very critical. And we were fighting against 50,000 Mexican fans. So obviously that kind of gave a home advantage for Mexican players.
You know what I was a little bit upset about?
What?
I'm not going to lie. I'll be very honest with you, right? We saw during the World Cup this bond that we have with
Korea and
Mexico, right?
Yeah, Mexico.
But, however, once the match started,
Yeah.
like it was different because every time the possession went to Korea, they started booing. Like, boo. And I was like, hey.
Same thing happened today, though. I mean, they helped us. Mexico actually helped. Helped us today.
That's right. The Mexican fans came out to cheer for Korea, but
it was weird though, because when Mexican fans were like cheering, I was like, why were they cheering? Because there's nothing happening on our ground.
No, it was
Mexico scored. Yeah.
No, but it's just this is the thing. This is the thing about sports, right?
Yeah.
You can tell. Number one, home field. This is where home field advantage really takes on, right? They were. You can tell that Mexico got the energy because if you see them, like it's so surprising how Korea was playing on par with Mexico, but that slight edge that Mexico had on the home ground, that was the difference.
Sure.
And I think the other thing is that the mistake that Kim Sung-gyu made. That was kind of a communication error.
That was a communication error.
Right? With the defender and the goalkeeper. But because the stadium was so loud, like sometimes you can't really hear that.
No,
like,
even if you yell, you're not going to hear them.
No, you can't really hear that, right? I don't know what he screamed. I don't know if he screamed my ball. I don't know what he screamed, but there was definitely a miscommunication and they collided. That's why the ball slipped out.
That happens a lot in baseball game too. And for example, when the outfielders, when the ball comes like right in the middle, like center field and right field, and they have to call each other, but then if they're right in front of the spectators with lots of them, like sold out tickets, right? And when that happens, they miscommunicate. They can't hear calling each other out.
That's right, because like if it's like like in baseball, like you were saying, like if the home team hitter hits it, they scream, right, and so it gets really really loud, and so whatever communication goes on, it gets very different. But it's all the more with football because in that penalty area, there's a lot of people talking.
Right,
it wasn't just them. They were going go. This and that. Da, 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 da. And so like you're confused, and that's
sometimes
why the miscommunication
coach yelling from behind.
Right, and then it gets even more confusing when some of the fans be using whistles to cheer. And then you go, was that a referee? Well, Vuvuzela was okay because it didn't sound like a whistle.
No.
But then some other fans, they do use whistles to cheer. And then it gets confusing because it's like, is it the referee? Though. Some people, I heard whistles.
Yeah, I heard a whistle today too, but then I thought that was...
It's banned. You're not supposed to use it. So that's the thing. It's like, why... Like, you have that, and so there's so many things that you have to take into consideration in a match. But, 어떻게... Exactly. Kyusung, Kastrup, and Son needed to be in the pitch since the beginning of the match to have a chance to make a difference. And of course, Jens Kastrup, he finally got a chance today. And I have to say, he wasn't bad. He was making opportunities.
He was great in the left wing. He was aggressive, and although I could say I could tell he needs more time spent on the ground with other players.
He didn't have enough.
He didn't have enough time.
But the thing was, like, why not give him a chance in the first two matches to get to know the players and get to work it? Because I think today, I mean, we'll talk about it later on, but I think that was the difference because he did make opportunities, but it was slightly too early, slightly too late.
Yeah.
And that's because he just didn't have any experience on the pitch with some of the players. And so we could continue to go on and constantly talk about all the things that went wrong. Otoke also says South Korea played way better than this, but there's a huge problem with the plan and communication and team spirit. Oh boy, yeah.
Well, I was talking about head coach and yelling, but then I didn't see anybody yelling today. He was very and he was sitting down like this.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Did you give up? I don't know what that is. But they could go on and on about what went wrong with the head coach. We're gonna talk about today's match in just a bit. But first, let's take a listen to a song here.
And before we go into music break, you owe everybody a coffee.
I already bought them, minus you. I voted yesterday and then you weren't here, so I couldn't give it to you. And so next time I see you, I'll buy it for you.
right, sure.
Next time, I did buy it for them though. I did buy it for them because I lost, right? I lost that bet. Anyways, you chose a song here.
Yeah.
This is
My friend, Mexico, they used to be our friends.
you amigos.
Yeah, amigos, amigas. But
I feel like there is a song called Amigos too, but this is good too. This is Big Bang featuring No Brain with My Friend.
Hey! Stop looking at the clock. We still got more work at the Culture Inc.
The last track was Big Bang, Oh My Friend, featuring No Brain. And of course, Big Bang also has a lot of really good World Cup songs.
so before I came to the studio, in the parking lot, I met Buyong because we were parking at the same time. She was coming out of her car, and then I saw her all dressed up as, with a football uniform.
Yes.
And then we both saw each other, and then we both started sighing. I was like,
I think that's what we did. Well, everybody just looked at each other and just. That was just it. That's it.
yeah.
It was a frustrating match.
It was frustrating.
I'm going to say
Very.
frustrating is an understatement. We have to talk about today's match,
We have to.
or we could talk about something else.
Yeah.
What can we talk
They
about?
already know, and I
Seong
already,
says, "Where's my coffee?" Seong, you weren't even in that bet.
I already talked about this in my news segment live.
Yes.
Already twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then the thing with news is like you just have to read it.
Yeah.
Now we have to emotions. News, there's no emotion.
There's no emotion.
There's no emotion. Now there's emotion.
So it's like Korea lost South Africa 1-0.
Yeah, read this as a
okay.
news. Just read today's match outcome. Read this as a news.
After scoreless first half, South Korea conceded the opening goal in the 63rd minute when Tapelo Maseko found a net. Despite pushing for an equalizer for the remainder of the match, the Korean national team was unable to break through and ultimately fell 1-0.
Stay tuned for more. You're listening to Arirang
Arirang
Radio.
Culture Inc.
That's it. Okay. Okay. So the funny thing was,
Yeah.
before the match kicked off, like I had a haircut appointment.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to watch like the first 20 minutes of this match. But before, as I was walking to the my barber shop, I had to look at the lineup.
Yeah.
And the way that I checked the lineup is funny. It's funny. Puyong, I was looking at Puyong's Instagram. Her story had the lineup up, and I thought she got some like fake AI lineup.
Because somebody was missing.
I was like, no. What are you doing? What is this? I didn't 좋아요 it. I didn't even give it a heart because I was like, this is a fake lineup. And then I had to check. I went into the Naver.
The Naver, and then check out the news.
Check out the news, but checked out the lineup, and I was like, no. And then I went on ESPN, checked out the lineup, and I said, you got to be kidding me.
Exactly.
Who was missing?
손흥민 was missing. He had been starting as a lone striker in both Czechia and Mexico matches began, and then he began on the bench and marked the first time Son hadn't been named on the starting lineup since 2014 Brazil World Cup. So
It's actually Brazil World Cup all over again. Guess who is the head coach?
Hong Myung-bo. Guess who blamed him? I mean, who had to say something? Park Ji-sung, who is we call him. He's a nice guy, right?
Yes.
He's like, oh, it's
He
all
called
the
him out
mistakes all over again from 2014 Brazil World
Yeah,
Cup.
he said that after the game, right?
Anyway, so Oh Hyun-gyu, who gave a goal in the Czechia match, replaced him. And Lee Gang-in and Hwang Hee-chan
got
were
the start.
midfielder. I mean, I think that was a good replacement to start with to play against the African. I'm not saying replacing Oh Hyun-gyu with Son Heung-min was a good idea, but starting with Hwang Hee-chan was not a bad idea.
No, Hwang Hee-chan was a good move. My thing is that when you have one top at Oh Hyun-gyu,
Yeah.
I thought personally for me, I thought it had to be Cho Gyu-sung.
Yeah.
He looked really good in the small opportunities that he had in the first two matches.
So if we were to start with Son Heung-min and then
Yes.
later on, maybe second half when we have like 30 minutes left, that's when we sub him with, for example, Hwang Hee-chan and
Yes.
Cho Gyu-sung, like have him in the top. That would have made game very different.
I thought it was going to be Cho Gyu-sung and then Son Heung-min, Hwang Hee-chan, right? And then wingers.
Had Chugusong ever started a game?
No, not this
throughout-
match.
Not this World Cup, but the World Cup before any national match.
No, he did. He did. He actually did really well. I forgot which way. He had 2 goals in one game.
Yeah, once he did with the headers and
Yeah. No. I just don't understand how you could take out Sonny. It was just I kept on thinking it was a mistake. Of course, Sonny
he
did
subbed
come
in
out
the
later
second
on.
half, and Jan Castro, who had not appeared in the first 2 matches, of course, showed him in his first appearance in the World Cup. For those who are not familiar with him, he was born in Germany, and he was a former German youth international. And his appearance is meaningful, of course, because he came to his mother's country to represent the country.
I think it's the first time for the South Korean men's national football team
Right.
to have something like this, right? A naturalized citizen.
Naturalized citizen.
To play, because football was one sport where like basketball, we always see it, right? Ragona.
Basketball,
Ragona.
Ragona.
We see Ragona. Ricardo Ratliff. We've seen it in ice hockey.
Ice hockey,
But
yeah.
football was one sport where they said no. We're gonna keep it
Korean, yeah.
Gave him a chance, but why give him this opportunity
Now.
and not play him?
Exactly.
And we saw how well he played today.
I mean, I saw his picture in in the locker room, in the bench, right, right behind Hong Myung-bo, having a very sad face for first couple matches because he couldn't appear on on a match.
Yeah.
So it was saddening, really.
I just didn't understand. I think we could talk about hours about what
Right.
went wrong, but what was the biggest reason for the loss today?
Can I say out loud?
No, probably not.
Probably not.
We have to do unemotional.
Yeah. Well, nicest way of putting it, I guess they felt too much of pressure of not losing. That's nicest way I can say it. So that's why they were not aggressive enough, not attacking enough. Offense. So
I think if you were pressured to win,
yeah.
because actually they weren't pressured to win.
Because that's what Hong Myung-bo said. If we have a draw, we're going to proceed to the next round.
Right,
But
in
we're going
second
to play
place.
like we're going to win the game.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're
they?
gonna play to win the game, then there's gonna be a lot of offsides.
Right.
There's gonna be aggressive attacking on the field.
Fouls.
What we saw Mexico match.
Yeah.
Right. They played that match to win.
Mm-hmm.
This match they didn't seem like, and so even if you won this match, they would finish second.
Exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't seem like Korea was playing to draw. That's stupid. You can't play
Mm-hmm.
to draw. That's so risky.
No.
And so, but the movement around the players, it looked like they look all lethargic.
So I was watching both channels, 2 channels to actually air the match, KBS and JTBC, because they have different commentators, right? Lee Young-pyo, Park Ji-sung, and some others. They were all saying the same thing. Why aren't they moving into the penalty area where they can get the pass? And because all out of midfield, especially Lee Gang-in, tried to penetrate the ball into the penalty area so somebody can shoot the ball, but there's no one there.
I felt so bad for Lee Gang-in today.
Yeah.
Because there was one scene where he was surrounded by 3 different
3
defenders.
players, yeah.
No one supporting him.
No one
supporting
went
him.
there to help him out.
Guys, when 3
He's
players are on
ostracized.
one player,
Yeah.
that means that there are other players who are not being covered.
Mm-hmm.
And if you move up, that's where the pass game comes in.
Exactly.
And he lost the ball afterwards. I mean,
Obviously, there are 3 people coming in, and unless you're like Messi or Ronaldo, I don't know, but it's really rough. When you're surrounded by 3 players.
everything that could go right. We can't even say, because you know why? It probably shouldn't have been a 1-0 loss. It should have been 4-0.
I mean, okay, I don't know if you watch. So you missed the 20 minutes, first 20 minutes. I don't know if you watched Kim Sung-yu's super save.
Yeah, no, I saw the highlights
So
of
it
it.
should have been 2-0. I mean, that was amazing save by Kim Sung-gyu. It's first when he stopped the ball, I was like, oh, okay, that's a great save, and it
was a second.
rebounded.
But the thing was, it was the kicker's fault.
That was actually kicker's fault. Yeah, of course.
It was the attacker's fault. He was right down
after
the
he
middle.
kicked it, he was like, "Oh my god!" It was not because he was embarrassed about missing the goal. He immediately knew he kicked the ball wrong.
No, he made a mistake. It helped out, but there was other chances where it could have been a goal.
Right.
But they got really lucky. I really thought that it probably could have been a 4-0 loss for South Korea.
And then later, Kim Min-jae got subbed out. That was a very surprising move. Later, Hong Myung-bo, the head coach, said that, obviously he was worried about his calf injury because of playing too much, which, understandable. Protecting a player is another decision that the coach has to make.
But when Kim Min-jae left the field, he didn't look happy. And I think the broadcasters were all so confused.
Yeah, they're like, what? Why? What? Why?
What happened?
We have to find out why. But I don't. So far, I don't know. I haven't seen Kim Min-jae fall down or.
Yeah. The only thing that positive that came out from this match today, ladies and gentlemen, is the kind of support that the Mexican fans
and Korean fans
showed
together.
for whatever. And again, a sold out crowd.
Yeah.
Mexican fans cheering for Team Korea. Unfortunately, it was a loss. We're going to talk about what's ahead because we do have a very different format in this year's World Cup. But
exactly,
I don't even have to explain this song. This is perfect. This is Chungha
self-explanatory
with Stress. 어떻게 says stress is suitable for the match, to be honest. Do you have a song called 답답해, please? Probably is. And is there a song called 고구마? Is there, that's how we all felt. Kel says, over in Wales, I was saying to Johan earlier, I felt like a jinx. I've woken up at 2 a.m. for 2 out of 3 Korea matches, and both times they've lost. People are very superstitious. People are superstitious. There's everything to blame. At least you're blaming yourself.
Well,
us here, we're blaming each other.
Blaming you.
I mean, that's true. Please don't blame me. I gave her that jersey.
I know. Yeah,
and she said, ever since I wore that jersey, Korea lost both matches. It's true.
That's what you said for what which World Cup?
What? No, this World Cup.
This World Cup. Okay.
But that jersey's from the last World Cup. Anyways, this is a frustrating. If I was Brazil, I would be super angry. The most important game, benching your star player's phone is definitely a choice. If a Brazilian was, I'd be super angry.
Okay, I was looking at BBC, I was looking at ESPN, and I was looking at all foreign correspondents, right? The Guardians, even everybody was saying that why would you have Son sit down on the bench and start there, and their overall commentating was, strategically they have made a mistake.
I don't know if it's a mistake. You know what the crazy thing is I don't want to go too much into it, but do you remember the Asia Cup? Was it the Asia Cup?
Which one?
With the controversy with Son Heung-min and Lee Gang-in fighting.
Yeah, that was a while ago. That's when Klinsmann was the head coach.
Right, and then do you remember I think it was Kamste? Who was doing the play-by-play, he was doing his streaming, and he said, did they fight or something? What's wrong with this team? Because the way that they played against, I think it was Jordan, it was so off. There was no chemistry. There was no communication. It was weird. And so I felt the same way with this match.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe was it not with the players, but was it with the coach? Is what I'm not making any assumptions here.
I mean,
it was just weird. It was just weird.
The atmosphere definitely weird because before we start, normally someone just walks around and cheer everybody up and they get excited. But then today, when they're entering the stadium, it just felt different. It looked different.
It really did look different. I don't know. Maybe something is going to come out later on.
Right.
So I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest with you.
No.
But I don't like this new format in the World Cup.
Having 48 teams compete each other and then,
But you know what was good about having 48 countries?
What?
My geography skills got improved. I started learning about countries.
New countries
that we don't really know about.
Like a couple of countries. Well, thanks to Peter Bint.
Yeah.
Because I had to see all those 48 different countries.
Didn't you pick 4 countries?
I picked 3 countries, and I think only one is going to survive. I picked Turkey, and I picked Algeria, and I picked Morocco.
Morocco's good.
Morocco's doing well, but they never get a chance to win in a group match because there's Brazil in there.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Anyways, because of this weird format here, there is still a chance that Korea, usually we say 16강 가자, right? Go to the round of 16, but now it's the round of 32. So what are the chances?
Still a knockout round. So with one win and 2 loss record. And 3 points, South Korea dropped to the 3rd place in the Group A and must now wait for the remaining group stage matches. Like you said, hoping we go as the 8 best 3rd place teams to qualify for the round of 32. So under the tournament's wildcard system, only the top 8 of 12 3rd place teams from 12 groups can proceed to knockout stage. And among the teams that have already completed the group stage, Bosnia and Herzegovina finished the 3rd group in B with 4 points, so they're already ahead. Three, whereas we have -1, so we have a bit of an advantage. In Group G, both Senegal and Iraq could also finish on 3 points even if they win their final matches, but they currently have a goal differences of -3 and -6 respectively. And right now, Paraguay, Sweden, and Algeria, and Croatia, they have 3 points with a match left. So they have quite possibility of staying with 3 points or, win. At least earn one more point to proceed to the next round. Right now in Ecuador, Belgium, and Cape Verde and Congo, those are other 4 nations that have possibility of proceeding to the next round with a 0.2 or 1.
So the problem right now, again, goes back to now the goal differentials. So even if you lose 2 matches, technically you can move on to the next round.
Right.
However, Korea has not scored a goal in the last 2 matches.
Nope, just the 2
So
goals.
they have so they have 2 goals total in the World Cup so far. Now, is that going to be enough for them to be one of the top 8 third teams? That
We'll never know.
you don't know. It's not impossible. But now, what the fans are saying is it worth it to go to 32 rounds?
Well, that's questionable. I mean, we have to beat at least 4 other teams out of other 11 third place teams from other group stages. And right now on up top, they actually gave a 90.64% chance of advancing before the match today. But even after we lost the game, they still gave us 87.6% of proceeding to the next round. And also the Athletics, they just uploaded a article saying that they predict 94% chance of South Korea proceeding to the next round.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
again, is it worth it? And then, who are we going to play against? We never know until this Sunday.
No. But they're also saying that it actually might be an easier draw.
Maybe
It might be an easier draw, but
because Canada was playing pretty well this time.
yeah, but Canada also got, they lost pretty bad in the last match. But it's just, is it worth it? Right? I feel like the fever is down right there. Everyone's very depressed. Everyone's very down, and they're questioning whatever happened to the last match. But one thing is for sure. They're going to make big changes if they do get to play in the round of 32.
Big changes. Big changes.
Today was the hardest show. Today was one of the hardest
Do we get to
shows.
talk about World Cup next week too?
Well, if Korea does go on to the next round, yes.
Does it go to the next round and lose again?
The funny thing is, yesterday we had the staff meeting. You know what we're planning? We're planning the 32 round. We're like, we're going to beat South Africa. We're going to play against Canada.
Exactly.
And then when they play in LA, we're going to do we did all these planning out the door.
Everybody's betting on him like 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 2-1. No one bet against, South Korea losing.
No, I don't think so. Key, thank you very much for this. I know it's very difficult to cover this and more, but let's see if we get to continue to talk about the World Cup next week. If anything, we'll just talk sports, right?
Okay.
I think this is a song that we all need to hear. Closing out our segment, this is Sonya Shide with Girls' Generation with Way to Go, 힘내.